Or are you guys staring at me?
Heather, my wife Heather is here.
You've been his eyes wide.
Look.
Hi, Papa. It's good to see you.
Oh, there's a
smile. Yeah.
He did it. He finished the race. Hey. It is, at the present moment, February the 15th, 2025, and my dad has been in heaven for 8 days. What was going to be a vlog that was going to be uploaded 2 weeks ago on how to find joy in the midst of such a busy season of life quickly turned into my dad going home. And so I just wanted to share the story of the last week and a half. Not only for your sake, but honestly more for my sake. I'm learning to grieve. I don't know how to do this. I've got a lot of friends that are helping me. Every time I think I'm out of tears, I quickly realize that I'm not. And so if you wouldn't mind letting me just share the story of how we walked my dad home. So I'd been recording video for just my weekly vlog, my weekly midlife vlog. Hopefully you guys can hear me, it's pretty windy. Last I came to you guys, literally the last vlog, we had just said goodbye to my wife, Heather's mom, who died in Fresno, California. And so the whole vlog was me flying out there. And then at the end of it, I told you guys that we canceled our trip to New Zealand to fly home because my dad wasn't doing too good. But again, my dad has spells of not doing good with his dementia. And he'll not do good for a week, then he'll kick it back up for 2 months. Literally, I thought, we still had 6 months, a year. So I got home and jumped in, started helping my mom. At that point, my dad was still talking, looking at us, telling funny stories that didn't make sense. Again, this was February 1st through the 6th. Around the 3rd, my dad could no longer get up. And you know, like, and you could tell that he knew that he was supposed to be able to do this, but he couldn't. So I told my mom, hey mom, it's time to start looking for help in the evenings. So we reached out to Bradley, our regular 9-to-5 caregiver, and we were like, can you come in the evenings? He's like, I can come some. So some of the evenings, Bradley would come to help lift my dad up and get him to bed. And again, just the week before, my dad was walking. And then some evenings when he couldn't come, I would help. And so I turned on the camera that day, which was February 3rd, and began to share with you just what the process was that evening, and how hard it was for my mom. My mom and I were trying to figure out how to use a Hoyer lift because, again, it's expensive to have caregivers in the evenings and during the day. So I was like, no, Mom, I can do this. I can do this. I can do this myself. But let's practice the Hoyer lift. And so 5 days before my dad's passing, we are practicing this Hoyer lift as if we're going to lift him in this thing for the next year. He got to ride in it one time. But I want to show you guys that night. This was February 3rd. So we have entered the era, the caregiving era of my mom can no longer get my dad to bed alone. She needs help. So, whoa. Every night, we now have help coming for my mom at 7:30 p.m. The nights the help can't come, I will help, which is the weekends. Hi, Dad. Yeah. What? What are you whispering about?
Yesterday he ate a good breakfast, eggs and avocado mash.
Yeah,
And
you're mashing the food.
I mashed the avocado. I mean, we usually have an avocado toast,
Yeah.
but this time I didn't give him any bread because he's just chewing and chewing and chewing and not swallowing it. So he ate yesterday just the avocado mash and the eggs. But today,
Okay.
Bradley's. I had a meeting to go to. I had to meet a friend at 10 o'clock, and Bradley said he didn't eat. He didn't eat the eggs or very little with the
Yeah.
avocado. So I said, give him some fruit with the sweet yogurt in there, and see. And he did eat some of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is,
So
is he sitting up any better? Or is he
no,
still sleeping? Or no.
no. Bradley felt that he had a little bit of strength, like he helped him help Bradley, but
Yeah, okay.
but his legs were still. He was able to put Fermin's arms around Bradley, so he can
Okay.
pick him up and
Lift him up.
lift him up, and so. But no, and I'm not gonna give him that lorazepam tonight.
Yeah, the lorazepam.
Yeah, I'm not gonna give it to him. The nurse coming tomorrow, so
Okay.
hopefully
Good.
she's already talked to the doctor then and see if there's anything else. But
That you can give him.
I would rather him. I don't know.
He doesn't really talk anymore either.
Yeah, he doesn't talk.
He's not talking.
He's
Yeah.
not talking.
Yeah.
This is now a. My mom built a entire. What are these things called? Shelves, rolling shelves, to keep all of my dad's things right here, from underwear to cleaning supplies to gloves to everything. I am now coming over here in the evenings to help my mom move my dad.
Pull him up. Maybe from right there. Okay,
Here, Dad, this is me. Lift your arms up.
he's gonna lift you
I'm
up.
gonna lift you up. Yeah, like that.
There we go.
There we go.
let's see if he can.
Walk over.
Yeah.
I think so. He's looking motivated. Hold on. All the way.
No problem. Over here is what you do. Careful, because he can slide that now. Stand up. honey.
Stand
Can you
up.
stand
1, 2, 3.
Use your legs.
Use your legs.
Okay. I'll just
No, let
pick
me do
him
it,
up.
Mom.
Yeah,
Let
I
me
know.
do it.
I'm not gonna do this.
Okay.
Just pick him up and sit him.
And move him, yeah. Now, will these arms go up or down?
They can go up if you want to.
Yeah, I'd like for them to go up. Like this. Like this.
Be more circular. Some of them.
And then this one. Okay, Dad, look at me. I'm gonna pick you up and put you in here, okay? Okay? So I'm gonna come like this. And then I'm gonna pick you up. You hold me really tight. 1, 2, 3. Good job. Yeah, great job. Good job.
Sit down, man.
Look at that, teamwork. I'm gonna come behind you like this and go 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's like a big ride. Put your arm on this. No, put it on. Look at that, Dad. You like that?
Yeah. Just a little bit
Yeah.
more.
There we go.
Look at that. He's got a whole express to go to bed.
This is why I'm lifting weights.
Look at you.
Say goodnight to Losiah.
Good night.
I wanted to give him some tea.
We are going to practice because my dad's not able to move anymore. Again, recent development as of the last week with the Hoyer lift. We don't know if my dad's going to like it. We don't know if he's going to want to do it. We don't know if he's going to be scared to do it. We're going to slowly get there, but we're going to possibly practice the Hoyer lift. I'm kind of excited about it because I want to be the one lifted. And so my mom's going to practice on me. I'm going to act like my dad. She is going to practice with the Hoyer lift. The Hoyer lift is basically a way that one person, a single caregiver, can move their loved one from the bed to the wheelchair, from a wheelchair to a chair, from the wheelchair to the commode, and back all around. Again, there's a lot of things that are going to be determining factors on if this thing can happen or not, but I'm going to go check out the Hoyer lift now, bring it in here, and see if we can't figure it out. This is me. There's Mom. I'm going to be my dad, and she's going to try to get me out of bed. Okay, so we have figured...
Okay. Yeah, so nervous. It's not gonna be as easy as.
I'm just doing what Dad would do. We're doing a wheelie? There we go. Come give me a hug. Just take 5 deep breaths. 1, 2, one more. Good job. You did good. The next right thing.
You know, when I look back at that, I see my mom and I see how she is, you know, trying to be lighthearted and have fun, but just stressed. My mom trying to figure out how to use that lift. What if she has to do it alone? I can just see all the stress in her face, in her body, but you know what? It was just the next step in taking care of my dad, and we knew that it was going to be months of doing that. So then February 4th, I wake up and I go play pickleball because that's my escape, you know. I get to stand across this net from people I don't know and swing as hard as I can at a tiny little yellow ball.
Good morning, midlifers. That is not my phone. Love got to do with it. My car either attaches to Heather's phone or Losiah's phone, my son's phone. Whenever I start the car in the morning, it never attaches to my phone, which is strange. And so I'm assuming that's not my son's phone. I'm assuming he wasn't listening to Tina Turner's What's Love Got to Do with It. My wife, Heather, it's heavy. You know, I think the farther away we get from both of the situations in her life, her mom dying suddenly, and her grandma, his house burning down so close together. The farther away I get from it, the clearer it gets as to just how impossible of a situation that was. Just impossible. So she's heavy. She's grieving. I'm trying my hardest to be there for her. While my heaviness would have been heavy from that, obviously not as heavy as my wife's. I didn't lose my mother. I need more of this. But my dad is I feel like the end is near.
After I played pickleball was when Nurse Debbie came, who's the hospice nurse. She's amazing. And my dad had been not really eating. And so like, I just wanted to like, okay, so smoothies for a year, like what's going on? Like, you know, it's funny how it's like, I know what's coming, but I don't want to admit it, but I felt it. I think I even said it in my videos when I was making them that day. I just felt it. But you know, we hadn't asked hospice that. Hospice has been here for 6 months. So I'm like, well, hospice has been here for 6 months. Could be another 6 months, could be another year, 2 years. And so Nurse Debbie came around noon, and I wasn't able to be here because I had some work stuff. Again, just thinking it was gonna be a regular hospice appointment. They come once a week, check on my dad. And my mom asked her, so, I mean, like, can you gauge what do you feel like it's gonna be? And I mean, Nurse Debbie, that's when she told her. And that was the moment when my mom texted me and said I had a tough visit with Nurse Debbie, that I knew it was truly the beginning of the end, because Nurse Debbie looked at her and said, listen, when patients like this are having changes every month, every few months, it's months. When they're having changes every few weeks, it's weeks. When they're having changes every few days, or every day, it's days. And we've been having changes every day. And so she said, it's just time to make them comfortable. My mom was actually on the way to the grocery store to buy smoothie stuff for my dad. And Nurse Debbie's like, it's actually like his body doesn't want to eat because his body knows that he doesn't need to eat. The body only wants to eat when it wants to live. His body, his shell wanted to die. And so there's no need. And you know, my mom was at the grocery store buying him food because she just wanted to take care of him. But now she knows there's no need to feed him. But how can you not feed the person that you're trying to love and take care of? Yeah. Bradley got to shave my dad that day. Bradley, so grateful for him. And After I found out, I just went in and I laid with my dad. I couldn't lay in his bed, but I laid in my mom's bed, which was right next to him. So, spent some time with him there. Walked outside, it all hit me. And I just processed it that day.
Okay. You're getting shaved. You look so nice. Yeah. Te ves muy guapo. Hi. Hi. Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. You doing okay? Yeah, good. Good. Yeah.
When forever comes tomorrow, what has been will always be. Time and again, my darling, you're everything.
He said he's very tired.
He did.
So let the world grow in a garden. Hear me now and know the truth. Hear the beating of
Wow. I am. Gosh, it's like I'm numb. Gosh, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to grieve. I don't know how to do this. This is not the conversation I wanted to have today, but I don't know. It's like I don't know what to do. I don't know. I don't know if I'm supposed to cancel all my plans. Like, but what if 3 weeks? What if it's, I have to work? I don't know. These are all things I'm thinking. And listen, I know people are going to be like, no, just stop everything and just be by his bedside. And I'm like, I would love to not have bills to pay. I bought the house across the street. I bought the house my parents are living in, and it has stretched me financially in ways that I didn't think it was going to. And I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Nice to meet you. Eat.
now I was struggling with decisions the night before. Just on, do I go? What do I do? It was a pretty important trip for me to go to New Orleans. And then comes the point of like, do I trust God that he's going to provide the income that I need? Or do I just go on Friday and try to make it there and back to get what I have to get done? The next day, it's a pretty quiet day. Heather was leaving on Thursday. My brother decided that he was going to come up from Atlanta on Saturday. Again, because Debbie was like, it could be, I don't know, by Monday or Tuesday of the next week. Within a week, we'd move my mom and dad into the living room just so that my dad wasn't alone in that back bedroom and we could be around him. That was the day that a rainbow showed up behind this house. And it was literally the first time I'd ever seen a rainbow, I feel like, in my neighborhood. My mom saw it, was like, look at the rainbow! And it was almost landing on my dad's head. And so we just spent time with my dad that day. We spent time, Heather was going on a trip the next day, and I told her she needed to go because she'd been grieving her mom. It was a girls' trip, and I was like, just go. I think my dad will hang out until at least Monday. So she was gonna go, so she spent some time with my dad. It was a beautiful day. Nurse Debbie came again just to check on my dad, and she said things are progressing like they should. We were mostly concerned about my dad suffering, not being able to breathe. I don't know. I don't know what it looks like. I've never seen somebody die before. So it was a good night. The kids started showing up. Food started showing up. Friends started showing up. And my mom's house kind of became just this kind of like town square of grieving and laughing. Everybody was coming through. And then February 6th, the day before my dad passed away, his breathing, he had a moment with Heather, but he hadn't been coherent besides maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes in the last 24 hours, and that was the moment with Heather. So I'm kind of counting his breaths. I'm like, man, he's only breathing like 15 times a minute. That next day on Thursday, Heather had left that morning to go to the mountains in North Georgia. My brother got there. My dad lived. And in that hospice appointment, Nurse Debbie got really specific as to what passing was going to look like. She gave us all the signs. She showed us his hands, discoloration that would start happening on his body, what his breathing would look like. If his breathing became labored, they'd given us morphine to help the breathing, because we had all the tools we needed to make him comfortable, and that's all we cared about. And my mom, that's just what her main prayer was we just didn't want him to suffer. So we just kept praying that. My mom would just sit for hours next to him while we were in the other room watching TV, and she'd just be whispering to him, and I can only imagine everything they talked about. My mom has been with my dad since he was 17. She's 72. I can't imagine. So Debbie explains to us what it's going to look like. She shows us how to use the drugs if we need them. But she's like, she kept saying, I'm blown away that you haven't given him any medicine and he's this peaceful. We didn't give him any medicine for the anxiety. We didn't give him any medicine for his breathing, for the pain, nothing. And he was just chilling. So, I don't know. I said bye to my dad that night. I went home. I had to speak the next morning. I haven't preached in a church in 7 months. And I had to preach the next morning here in Nashville. And I knew my dad would want me to. So, woke up the next morning, went and preached. And just felt peace the whole time. Came back. Nurse Debbie came one more time around 2. And she cried when she left. It was Friday and her shift was over. She wasn't going to work the weekend. It would be a different hospice nurse. And she just looked at my mom and she said, I just want to let you know, Carmen, you have been such an advocate for your husband. She was so honored to be able to care for my dad because of how much my mom was caring for my dad. So she left. Justine, the lady that bathes my dad, came and kind of wiped him down one more time and cried. She started laughing, saying, she looked at my dad's like, Mr. Whitaker, you told me you were going to call the cops on me plenty of time when I would shower you. When Justine first came to shower my dad, he would scream when she would bathe him. I don't know, he was just very sensitive to water and was like, you're trying to kill me. And then Bradley left. And you know, Bradley has been by my dad's side almost every day the last year and a half. And it was like losing a friend for Bradley. And he knew by the time he came back on Monday, my dad would be gone. And so we gathered, we started playing hymns. His breath slowed and slowed. And around 6 o'clock, he was breathing 2 times a minute. I called hospice. I was like, is he suffering? Like, because he would not breathe and take a deep breath and then not breathe. But he didn't look like he was suffering. And they just said it's close. And then at 6:17 p.m., we were surrounding my dad. Amazing Grace had just finished playing next to his head. It was crescendoing to All Hail the Power of Jesus' Name. And I'll never forget it. My dad had not moved in 2 days. His legs were bent. He kind of made a face like this, almost like, like he'd walked through a spider web or he was surprised by something. And then he stretched out his legs and it was over. It was literally like he jumped into heaven. And then we just stayed with him the next few hours. What a miracle. What a miracle this house was. We couldn't afford to buy this house. We still can't afford this house. But the 14 months that I scraped, and I mean, I would have spoken at a bar mitzvah to make enough money to pay the mortgage so that I could have my father and spend this time with him and my mom and take care of them in his last days. It was worth it. This isn't going to turn into a channel on grief, but I'm grieving. And I miss him. I miss the smell of his head. I would like smell his head and kiss it because it just smelled like home. I miss the way he would hold my hand, his long, bony, skinny fingers. You know, and as much as people want to say, like, it was just the shell, like, he's home. I don't care. We love that shell. I miss the shell, and I want him here. Death is an assault on everything God planned. And it sucks. But I'm going to miss him. And I know you are too. But I'm going to keep taking care of my mom. And I'm going to invite you guys on that journey too.
Dad, any departing words, wise words to the younger generation?
Stay focused.
Yes.
Remember who God is
Yes.
and how much He loves you.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
Carlos talking to us?
Is that Carlos?
It was Carlos. This is you now.
Okay.
That's you. But you remember Carlos was on the screen?
Mm-hmm.
What did he tell us?
I couldn't remember, sir.
You can remember? He said he bought the house across the street from him.
He did?
Yes.
Where?
He bought the house across the street from him. And he's moving us to live across the street from him.
That is a gift from God, oh my Lord. This is so well. This is so well.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Lord.